All right, y'all, we're gonna get started with our strength training workout for today. I'm using 15-pound dumbbells. You wanna use something that's heavy, that you feel like after about 10 reps that you can't maybe do 2 more. So grab a pair of dumbbells that's heavy to you. I've already warmed up. I went on a 7-minute walk to get my blood flowing. I got some sunshine in my eyes, habit stacking at its finest, and then now we're gonna get into our strength training. So get your water, get your mat, and get your dumbbells, and then I'll show you our round and our circuit. Okay, so we're starting with weighted squats. So you'll grab your dumbbells like you're carrying 2 heavy suitcases, weight in the heels, wiggle your toes, and then start to bend your knees, let your weights just fall towards the ground, and then push through your heels as you stand. Active core, shoulders melt down your back. Think about really lifting, activating your glutes and your hamstrings. You're gonna do 15 of these. Use your breath. And you don't wanna rush through these. You wanna let the weight carry you down and then use your core to lift up. That's why it's important you're using weights that are challenging for you. So that might be 8 pounds, it might be 10, it might be 5. And it might change as you go through this. Awesome job, use your breath, big inhales and exhale. Last one, awesome. Now you just need one weight. We're gonna do a dumbbell clean to overhead press. So let your feet go outside your hips, place the weight in your right arm, then hinge at the waistline, let the weight pull you, you activate your glutes, lift, find a row, and then bring that weight overhead, so activating your shoulders. And then you bring the weight all the way down, finding that one arm deadlift. And this is about power. So really find weight in the heels, let your knees bend, and then use your core, activate your core. And if you have any shoulder tension, you can come here and end in an upright row instead of the overhead press. Awesome job. So you have 10 of these on one arm, and then we're gonna switch to the left. Awesome job. So set your weight down, place it with your left hand, soft bend in your knees, finding that squat, and then lift through your heels as that weight goes right overhead. Using power, activating your core. And remember, you can always come here to a high row if you have any shoulder or neck tension. Awesome. Activating your core, your shoulders, your glutes. Keep a soft bend in your knees as you stand. Last one. Awesome. And then now you're gonna take both weights in your hand. We're going to reverse fly. So your feet are just about hip width distance apart, so pretty close together. Your weights are right in front of you. Soft bend in your elbows. Gaze is about 1.5 feet forward, so your head, neck, and spine are in alignment. And then you're gonna open your arms up, keep a soft bend in your elbows. Awesome job. Think about squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. Use your breath. Weight in the heels. This should be pretty challenging. We're working our postural muscles, our back body. It's gonna help us age with grace, help us build strength in the back body, keep our spine in alignment. Especially if you're sitting at a desk all day or standing, working. This will help you engage your core. Awesome job, last 2. And as you can see, this is challenging for me. So you want it to feel challenging, but not like you can't do it. So find a weight, a dumbbell set that'll challenge you. Take a moment, and then now we're gonna find a deadlift with a row. It's a combo move. So your feet are back to hip width distance apart, and I'll turn side so you can see me. Find a hip hinge. So you hinge at the waist, let the weights fall towards your ankles. And then as you come up, your elbows come back, you find a row. So you find a hinge, let your weights pull you forward, your glutes tilt toward the sky, and then lift, finding a row. Active core. Awesome job. You're gonna feel the back of your hamstrings and your glutes, and then you're back to that back body activation. your lats as you row your arms. It's a narrow row. Your weight squeeze in towards your rib cage. Active core. Awesome job. All right, last one. Stand tall, take a moment, shake it out. Okay, so that's your first block. I want you to complete that, the weighted squats, the dumbbell clean to press, right arm then left, and then your dumbbell reverse fly, and then your dumbbell deadlift to row. 2 more times, so for a total of 3 sets. So you have 15 squats, 10 dumbbell clean to press, 1 arm, right arm, and then left arm, and then you have 10 deadlifts with the row. That counts as 1. So that would be 1 set, and then 2. Active core. Awesome job. So we're moving on to the second block. This is your final block, and a lot of this is seated, so that'll be nice. So make sure you have a mat handy. You'll take a seat. We're starting with tricep dips. So I have my watch as my timer, but if you have a timer handy, we're doing them for 30 seconds, and you can take breaks as needed, but your fingers point towards your hips, root through your heels, and then push up. Find a soft bend in your elbows. Let your elbows bend straight back behind you. Your hips will come towards the mat, and then you'll lift. Use your breath. Relax your shoulders. Gaze is right out in front of you. Your elbows are bending right behind you. You're activating that upper part of your arm, your tricep muscle. You're pushing through the center of your palms. So spread your fingers wide. Awesome job. Almost there. We have 3 more seconds. Awesome job. So that's the first round of block 2. If that doesn't feel good, the tricep dips, you can also come to kneeling. You can stand on your shins, grabbing 1 heavy dumbbell, and then let your elbows bend. Bring that weight right behind you. And try to think about framing your skull with your elbows. So keep them in nice and narrow. Navel draws in, active core. Think about knitting your rib cage like you're wearing a life vest. Awesome job. You're really pushing down through your shins. So this is your option if tricep dips are not for you. You can also find an overhead tricep extension. You could also do this laying down. So I'll show you one more third option. If you want to take it down on the mat, you can work the same muscle by grabbing your tricep, leg it all the way down, bending your knees, bring that weight overhead, and then let your elbows bend. Your elbows are stacked right over your shoulders. That weight falls right above your forehead. So you're bone on bone, your active core, navel draws in, knit your ribs. Think about your pelvis being heavy on the mat. Use your breath. Awesome job. So you only have to pick one of those. Whew, triceps on fire. Those are good ones. Okay, your next move is a 30-second plank. So I'll show you your options. So your palms come underneath your shoulders, you step your feet back and you hold. So this is option 1. Making sure your palms are underneath your shoulders, your fingers are spread wide, you have a soft bend in your elbows, they're buoyant, navel draws in, your chin lifts, you're looking about 2 feet in front of you. If this does not feel good on your wrists, you can come to your forearms. So forearm plank, bringing your palms together. My shoulders are right over my elbows, so I have bone on bone. If this doesn't feel good, or it feels like too much, you can always come to your knees. You can also come to your knees from a palm position. So this is a modified plank. You're still actively working the core, the front rectus abdominals. So that's the goal here. So 30 seconds, your plank of choice, using your breath. And then after you've completed the 30 seconds, you have of the plank of your choice, you have mountain climbers. So you'd extend back to your plank, or you draw your knee to tabletop, and then extend back. Alternating a mountain climber. Use your breath. And if you can only take a couple of these and go back to plank, that's amazing. You can hold a plank for a minute. You can hold a modified plank for a minute. You can try a couple mountain climbers and head back to plank. You can always rest in child's pose if you feel like you need a moment. And then come on back. So let's just try to do 10 here. So 10, 9, 8, awesome job. Use your breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Big inhale, exhale, child's pose. And another option would be to find an elevated surface. So instead of working on a mat, you would find like a countertop, and you could do your planks and your mountain climbers on an elevated countertop, which will alleviate some pressure you might have on your wrists. Okay, last set is a sumo bridge lift with weights. And we're loading it up here. We're gonna activate the glutes from counteract all the sitting that we do in our day-to-day life. So take your weights, place them on your hip pockets, then step your feet out wide. You wanna roll all the way down. Head, neck, and shoulders are totally relaxed. And I'm just gonna use one weight because 15 pounds feels like a little too heavy on each. So one 15-pounder is going right in the center. I'm lifting through my heels, pushing through my feet, all four corners of my feet root onto the mat. And then I lower my hips to a hover and then activate through my heels as I lift. Active core, navel draws in, head, neck, and shoulders are relaxed. Push through your feet as you reach. Think about extending your quads forward. And if this doesn't feel good with the weight, you can always ditch the weight. Awesome job, active core. Your palms can lift overhead for a little bit more challenge, creating less stability, asking your core for a little bit more. Awesome job. All right, so that is the end of your second sequence. So you would complete the tricep extension of your choice, either a tricep push-up, which is here, or an overhead tricep extension. And you can always do one arm at a time too. If you wanna use one dumbbell, and you could complete 10 on one side and then 10 on the other, or you could take the weight, holding it on opposite ends. Those elbows go straight overhead. So that's the first one for the second block. Then you have a 30-second plank of your choice. It could be on your forearms, your palms, your knees. Then you have mountain climbers from your full extended plank, or you can take it to a countertop or a waist-high surface for your mountain climbers. And then you have your weighted bridge lift. So you step your feet out wide. You can use one weight, you can use two weights, you can use no weights. So that is it. That's your 30-minute strength training workout. Make sure you thoroughly warm up. I did like a 7-minute walk. And yeah, hope you feel stronger and empowered to have a great day.